Ignition. Liftoff.
Coming to you live from the White Picket Studios in Houston, Texas, this is the Realty Ruckus. If you are in any way, shape, or form involved in the real estate industry, this is the show for you. And now, your host, Alan Hernandez.
Welcome to the Realty Ruckus out of the White Picket Realty Studios. I'm your host, Alan Hernandez. Sitting next to me, your producers, David Bonilla, Jabron Hernandez. We are here to make sure that your real estate business is growing right alongside with ours. As always, we have a phenomenal show planned out for you guys, and we love to hear from you live while we're on the air. So drop all your questions, comments, concerns, you name it, down below. Don't let me forget trolling. I want to make sure that if you're a troll, you drop those down below too so that we can make fun of you.
We like trolls. We don't have a problem with
Never
it.
get trolls.
We haven't gotten a troll. We haven't gotten a good troll in a
It's
little
been a good
while.
4 or 5 months.
Look,
since
I'm
we've
not
gotten
saying that
trolled.
we want them, but they're fun when they do come around. And then when you don't have them, you miss them.
They add a little flavor to the show.
They definitely do. Hey, by the way, speaking of flavor, yesterday we went to the HAR Engage conference, and I don't know what that has to do with flavor, but
Yeah,
I
know,
will
I
tell
was like-
you.
I was
But
like,
I will
oh,
tell you.
this
But I
is
will
gonna
tell
be
you.
Good if he can connect that.
I will tell you that yesterday's Engage conference, if you guys missed it, was incredible. They like really. Why did you miss it? What's going on here today? Like something's not right. The force was not.
I figured I could just pick y'all's brains for it.
You missed a lot, man. You missed a
know.
real.
It looked like a great event.
So we got a chance to actually sit down and speak to Brad Inman, man. I mean, come on. I mean, this guy's like legend.
talk
Actually,
about his articles all
there
the time.
there was plenty of legends in that room. That was
Now,
the crazy thing.
You want to know something hilarious? So Bob Hale is interviewing Brad Inman. And he goes, well, you know, I like to read every day.
Bob Hale, the president,
The president of
of
HAR.
HAR.
Yeah.
Right.
He's interviewing him. He goes, well, you know, I like to read every day. And one of the first things I do is I check Inman News. And they've always got 3 or 4 new articles on there. And at least one of them is good. Dude, the room burst into
yeah.
laughter.
So
And then he
you-
tried to clean it up and
Yeah.
go, no, what I meant is that there's one good one that I want to read.
Yeah.
And Brad
Yeah.
Inman goes, okay. Well, we get it.
Yeah, he tried to dig himself out of that one. It was hilarious. It was a good roast. It was great, man. You know, I got a chance to kind of see it from his end, like see the business from his end. He doesn't practice
Which was interesting. I didn't know anything about Brad Inman.
like personally.
Yeah, he's literally a journalist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And his whole entry into real estate was that he exposed a lot of money that the National Association of Realtors had misproperly spent.
Yeah, apparently this has been happening a lot
Yeah.
longer
Well,
than
yeah.
we've been
He
He said
around.
in 2000
Before our years, when we were still in diapers, NAR was misappropriating money.
I believe he said 2003 is when they had a scandal and some insider came to him as a reporter and said, hey, I've got this scandal, National Association of Realtors. You should really learn about it. And it turns out the National Association of Realtors had misappropriated about $14 million. And they were actively trying to
just a few
hide it
dollars.
from its members. So they were trying to sneak the
There's a cover-up
numbers
on top
on the
of it.
filings for their members. And he exposed that story. Even though they asked him not to, the newspaper that he was at, they said, no one cares about realtors. He exposed the story. All of a sudden, he realized, wait a minute. Realtors are on
realtors.
top of the news. Realtors know what's going on, and that's where Inman News kicked off. It was
Yeah.
really amazing. The conference yesterday was incredible. Another really big thing that I heard about, and I was telling
Are you sharing your
guys,
takeaways from the whole
these are-
conference or just the Inman part?
No, these are there's a takeaways from overall.
Okay.
Because one of the good ones was they
I
actually
got my notes here just so I can share my takeaways with you guys too.
yeah, Judge.
Look at this.
And
I
nobody
take
read
I
that
take
shit.
notes. Nobody can read these, but I
Well,
take notes.
They had a panel with Ed Wolf and with Judge Ed Emmett.
Okay, I missed this one. What was that one about?
It was about the Harvey and what they're doing to try
okay.
to
I was
recover
wondering
from
why
Harvey.
they-
About Harvey recovering.
And here's something really interesting that I learned yesterday. I didn't know this, and I bet a bunch of our listeners don't know this. Did you know Buffalo Bayou, which is one of the big drains that comes all the way from west side of Houston, from the reserve all the way to downtown, and from downtown out to Galveston, is privately owned from the Beltway all the way to Shepherd. So you're talking about
good
10 miles wide
Yeah.
of Buffalo Bayou is actually privately owned. And here's the biggest problem, and Judge Ed Emmett talked about this. He said, these people are ridiculous because we've got homeowners who are suing to make sure that we clean up the bayou and that their homes don't flood.
Yeah.
And then we've got homeowners suing us for trying to get into their land and clean up the bayou. And it's not like these people, he did it as a joke, he said, but what kind of power do these people have? It's only Memorial Village and River Oaks.
Yeah.
And basically saying
they have all the
these
power.
are the richest people in Houston.
Yeah.
They have all the power. They make the rules, basically. And you guys want to know why Memorial floods? You want to know why River Oaks flooded in Harvey? That's why. Because we can't clean up Buffalo Bayou, because we can't get in there. And even if everyone says yes, but one guy says no, it's like a sewer drain that's clogged.
Yeah.
It all backs up anyways
Yeah.
if you have even one clog in the system. That was interesting to me. I had no idea about that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, there was a lot of good takeaways.
So basically,
there.
you have rich people fighting rich people, and that's why the city is flooding.
Yeah, in that area.
Or that area.
In that area, yeah. Because
Which was a big deal, because I mean, these were homes that hadn't flooded before, and a lot of them are $500,000 to multi-million-dollar properties.
Yep.
And yeah, they were ticked off, and yeah, they started suing. I didn't realize do they realize they're suing each other?
I don't think they realized it, because the way he made it sound was basically the politicians in those areas keep people fighting each other to look like they're doing something, when in reality they're not actually helping or doing anything. You could tell he's really frustrated. Another one of his big frustrations with the entire flood, and this is something we've brought up on the show before, is that 80% of the houses that flooded were not in the flood zone. And they did these new restrictions on, you have to lift up your house if it's in a flood zone. He's going, who the hell cares about that? Most of the houses that flooded were not in a flood zone. We have real data to show you what the flood zones are. We need new maps, but the city, instead of spending money on new maps, continues to spend money on creating new restrictions and passing new laws, when they should really be saying, these are the actual flood areas. It's not about elevations, it's about drainage. It's a problem with certain areas that flood because they don't drain. It was really good. The whole conference was amazing.
Yeah,
man.
it really was. I got a lot of stuff from it too. We have to take a quick commercial break, but when we get back, we'll finish giving you guys some of our takeaways from yesterday's HAR Engage conference, as well as getting to some other amazing items that we want to deliver to you guys. Stay tuned. You're on the Realty Ruckus. Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you're interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
Hey guys, Alan here. Are you a home investor in need of house plans and permit expediting services? If so, Houston Plans and Permits is your local one-stop shop. They have over 15 years of professional design experience and have a strong team of knowledgeable permitting expediters to service all of your projects. Please contact them by calling them at 281-372-1555. Again, 281-372-1555. Or visit them at their website, plansandpermits.com. Again, that's www.plansandpermits.com. Hey Houston real estate agents, this is Alan Hernandez, broker at White Picket Realty. I want to let you know that when you're ready to stop working your real estate career and start building a real estate business, Team WPR is a place to be. Not only do we offer real results, real support, and real branding, but furthermore, 80 to 100% commissions of your hard-earned money going back to you. So make sure you reach out to us. Join at teamwpr.com. Again, that's join, Join, at teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where you can chat with us live during the show. We can answer your questions live on the air. Now, before we went to break, I was just blabbering and blabbering on about all the good things that I
know.
Flood. I had my notes here. I was diligently waiting for my chance to speak, and I never got a chance to share anything.
Well, your chances come.
Well, I want to tell everybody a little bit about what I learned from some of the other classes I went to.
Because there was all sorts of good classes.
And that
there.
was the thing. It was like they had so many of them, and I didn't get a chance to go to all of them because a lot of really good content was had at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
I
we ended
agree.
up having to split up and go to different ones, and now we get a chance to share a little bit.
Yeah.
But you know, one of the ones that I went to was all about like marketing and social media and how even though a lot of real estate agents are active, we're not active enough. And we're not sharing enough. We're not actually doing the right things. And so what they talked about was, you know, the difference really between like advertising and having like PR. So advertising saying, look at me, look what I can do this, I can do that. And that's really like the typical real estate agent, right?
And that class was taught by Chris Smith, who wrote the conversion code.
Yes.
Oh,
And
really?
it was wow amazing.
Yeah.
Well, because that book is wow amazing.
Yeah.
It's a really, really good. It was there was a lot of good
Posted
information.
that down in the comments in case anyone wants to go online and buy that book.
Very nice.
But highly recommend it. Oh my God! After meeting that guy, there's a lot of internet marketers that you're not really sure if they know what they're talking
Yeah.
about because they throw out a lot of like buzzwords, but you don't really know. No, this guy 100%. He
Yeah.
is a genius. I was so impressed with him.
No, he is, man. He threw some stuff out there that was really eye-opening. He said something at the beginning that said Facebook is the internet, and he was like, "Do you remember when AOL was the internet?" And I thought about that. I thought about that because I remember having to log on to AOL and listening to the little chirping and whatnot, and then like
And you access everything else there from that one screen.
5 minutes later, once it actually like got in and dialed up, we'd be able to go through the internet. But right now, what he was saying is people go to Facebook and then they'll go and check out, you know, Zillow or whatever other website they may go to, but they'll always come back to Facebook. Like they
It's
always go and come back to
The
Facebook.
front page of the internet.
It
for a lot of
really
people.
is the front page of the internet. And
Yeah.
so all these people that are like,
my friend, that's Reddit.
No, that's
Oh.
what Reddit calls itself. But
That's literally the tagline.
Reddit doesn't have not even 10% of the users Facebook has.
Yeah, exactly. He also shared a really, really cool little golden nugget, which I think you're gonna like this, because he showed how you can go to anybody's page, anybody's business page, and now there's a new tab at the bottom that says info on and ads, and you can see all the ads that any of your competitors are running. So because of that transparency, it's changed a lot of the ways that people run their ads, and it's changed a lot of the people that are using ads that work nowadays. So I thought that was really cool.
And I just shared a link. If you remember this one, you can pull up anyone's business page and actually get a score for how they're doing on their business page.
Yeah.
It's called
For ours.
likealizer.com.
Yeah.
And oh man, as soon as he said it, everyone started putting their business page in there,
Yeah.
and you saw a bunch of really sad faces.
I'm afraid
in that
I'm
room.
afraid to put mine in there. I'm kind of afraid. I haven't done it yet. And then he shared what like a 10 out of 10 ad is, and it was really cool because it's stuff that I'm not actually using right now, like
know.
using emojis. I've just never thought about using emojis in my
neither.
I
ads.
see those all the
But
time.
that was a really big deal according to him. Using a lot of pictures, using Bitly links for tracking. There was just a lot of really cool stuff, and then targeting. We even went into like a discussion on how to target the right audiences, and he actually showed us on the screen. I thought that was really neat, man. I've never been to a conference where the presenter actually taught and shared insights, golden
I agree.
nuggets. Most of the time, it's all about, you know, buy my book, buy my book. This one was like, hey,
he did talk a little bit about that. He would pepper it in.
Yeah.
But it's understandable. He wrote a really good book
Yeah.
on conversion, and it mentions all of this stuff in there.
So we're doing some things that are right. I really like this. He talked about call blocks being at 8 a.m.
Yep.
from 8 to 10 a.m.
Oh, he did.
And so we do that already. And then if you're going to do an afternoon call block from 4 to 6 p.m.
Yep.
So we have that for sure. And then he said the best days were Wednesday and Thursdays, which I thought was interesting because I've never actually thought about what days would be best. But
Yeah.
Wednesday and Thursdays, for whatever reason, statistically speaking, and he has the stats, are going to be the best days to reach out to people and try to communicate
yeah,
with
because
them.
what he's done is he started essentially an ISA company where they dial all your leads for you. It's very similar to Agentology, really, what he had.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed because he also talks a lot in his book about phone training. And a lot of what he teaches about phone training are the exact same things that we're teaching.
Yeah.
Ask questions, use active listening. Now, everyone has a different name for it, but he said repeat back what they say to you. That's
Yeah.
what we call active listening.
Yeah.
And so it was really nice to know that we're teaching the same things that these top level experts are teaching.
Yeah, I thought the same thing when I heard about that. Speaking of transformation and technology, we want to talk a little bit about the 3 ways that technology will transform real estate here in the next few years. And so we brought up an article, and we want to bring this to your attention as our viewers. What's happening with technology right now that's going to change the way that we do business? What do you guys think?
Well, in this particular article, the founder of Trulia, he identified 3 ways or 3 opportunity areas that tech will have for real estate in the coming years. And one of them, let me pull down the list here. One of them is alternative transaction models, which we've already kind of seen and started talking about, which are companies like Opendoor, which help sellers make the transaction easier. Gibran also found one called Ribbon, which makes the home buying process a little bit easier. So you want to tell us a little bit about that one?
Pretty interesting. So this other company called Ribbon, usually I'm a hater about these startups, first of all. Anyone who watches the show knows that I don't believe in a lot of these, but this one sounds pretty interesting. Basically what they do is all those deals that you have that normally fall apart at the last minute because your buyer decided to go get a car loan, your buyer decided to go get a credit card, it didn't appraise for exactly what they expected, all of those things.
Yeah.
This company's kind of like a giant credit card because they just go and they buy the house and then they hold it for you. You pay interest on it until you can get it refinanced, until you can pay for it, and then you close it. And in the in-between, you pay interest. If you don't use them, you don't pay anything. And so they say that about 50% of the people who submit applications for their backup policy actually wind up using them. And they have a statistic that shows 30% of real estate transactions actually fall apart because of the financing falling apart. So they're a pretty interesting startup. They're making the transaction process
So then
easier.
the buyer is basically purchasing an insurance policy? Is that what it is?
Well, it's not an insurance policy because you don't pay anything for it unless you use it.
Okay.
If you don't use it, no big deal.
So this works in the scenario where like the buyer doesn't qualify last minute because he decided to go out and get a new car.
Exactly.
And now it changes the debt to income. Now he doesn't qualify, but now this company is going to come in and say, you know what, forget it, I'll buy it. Don't worry about it. You just buy it back from me as soon as you qualify again.
And for the same price. They don't mark up the price. They just charge interest on the actual purchase, which, think about it, when you're charging a high interest rate, it's basically a hard money loan company for actual consumers because consumers will freak out if you go to a hard money loan company.
Yeah.
But this is
when you tell a consumer 12%, they'll freak out.
Yeah, but this is a credit card for houses, so people are used to seeing this crazy high interest rate because they're used to high interest rates with credit cards.
Oh, so it's possibly going to be 12% more than likely.
Oh yeah, it's a high interest rate. It's a high interest rate. Yeah.
Got it. But that's really interesting. I like the way that works. I think that would save a lot of people time.
All they did is rebrand it. Instead of being hard money loan, they rebranded it. And the difference is a hard money loan is also consumers can't use that for their own home.
Right. Yeah.
This one is for consumers. It's consumer branded, and people can eat the interest rate because they're used to credit cards having a high interest rate.
Yeah, and they're presenting it as, look, here's a credit card in case you don't close. Yeah. You just hurry up and get ready again or fix whatever's wrong with your credit, and then you can come buy it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or refinance, not buy it.
And so they say that they're saving those. Their goal is to save those 30% of transactions that always fall apart.
Man, that's really, really smart. I like that. All right, what are some of the other opportunities that we have coming up? So the other one was rise?
The rise of alternative living. And so this one is a little bit more interesting, and I think this is a little bit further behind the alternative methods of buying real estate like the iBuyers. This is more rethinking how people live in the U.S. And we've seen this recently with certain communities where one of them is called We Live, and they'll purchase, say, a building in a hot urban area, maybe like downtown Austin, maybe somewhere in the Heights, and they will basically create rooms for rent on a monthly basis, but they'll have large common areas for the community. And basically what they're trying to get is young working professionals all in there, kind of living dormitory style.
Yeah.
And it's all furnished for them. They provide activities, common areas. So that's going to be kind of changing in the coming years, and we've seen it.
That's really cool because I think that out of college, that's something I probably would have moved into.
I totally would have done that.
It's familiar to you. You just left college. You're living in kind of a dorm style, but it's a little bit more upscale than a dorm. You're not quite doing the ramen noodles every night because you have a real job. I would have liked it. You guys are shaking your head. No, I don't know.
Oh, no. That's not why I'm shaking my head. Should I tell them? Should I tell them right now?
That you still eat ramen noodles?
I still eat ramen noodles, but yesterday I closed on a house that we're planning to do exactly what you guys are talking about.
Yes.
So we're setting it up. It's a 6-bedroom home, and we're setting it up with bunk beds. The larger rooms will get 2 bunk beds.
Yeah.
And people will be able to lease the bunk bed, and there'll be planned activities and other things to do at the house.
But is it targeted at professionals or is it
So
targeted at
it's
students?
being targeted because it's right next to Hobby Airport. It's being targeted for airport professionals.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And those are
that's
pretty
like
popular.
a very short-term version
Yeah.
of these. These are more long-term communities where they're renting for a year or two.
I think it's so interesting. It's almost like Leo gets a copy of what we're going to talk about on the show, because he just put a comment on there. He said more people are renting now than buying. And before the show started, David pulled a statistic that shows that on average people were renting for
2.6 years in 1975, whereas now the recent statistics from Zillow in 2015 show people are renting on average 6 years.
Dude,
So
that's
over
crazy.
double.
People will rent at least 6 years before they think of buying a home.
Now,
Yeah.
granted, I know people who bought houses in the 1960s for the same price as a car. A
Yeah.
car costs $5,000. A house costs $5,000. Good luck finding a house that costs the same as a car, unless you're buying a Bugatti or a Lamborghini.
That is staying in the shack.
You know, I've been watching this show called Rent-Free or Mortgage-Free Living or something like that. It's on Netflix. And a lot of those people, they'll go out and they'll build themselves like a tiny house. And they'll spend like 10 grand to do it. And literally that's how they live for free with no mortgage.
I've seen that. There's a couple people with boats on
Yeah,
there as well.
they'll use
It's really
boats,
cool.
all sorts of like really creative stuff. All right, what else do we have? What was number 3?
So number 3 is the rise of tech-enabled construction, management, and maintenance. Now, I don't have as much to say on this. I think Jabron will probably be.
Yeah, so what is that like?
Because
Because you own a construction company. What happens in that field?
Well, here's the thing about construction. A lot of the times it's not well communicated between the builder, the owner, and the in-between. So there's a lot of communication that gets lost in there. And I think what they're really trying to do is they're trying to make it to where the builders are more directly connected to the actual consumers, so that the consumers are getting status updates direct from the actual builder, not from the salesperson who's just like, oh, stay calm, your damn house is going to be ready, get out of here, which is what happens a lot of the time. But instead they're getting it directly from the builder. So it's not so much the technology is changing that industry, it's just making communication better, changing the customer experience.
Okay, so speaking of customer experience, we talked all about that yesterday at HAR Engage, and how customers expect to know up front what's going to happen next. All right, we have to take a quick commercial break. Stay tuned. You're on the Realty Ruckus. We'll be right back.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you're interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
Hey guys, Alan here. Are you a home investor in need of house plans and permit expediting services? If so, Houston Plans and Permits is your local one-stop shop. They have over 15 years of professional design experience and have a strong team of knowledgeable permitting expediters to service all of your projects. Please contact them by calling them at 281-372-1555. Again, 281-372-1555. Or visit them at their website, plansandpermits.com. Again, that's www.plansandpermits.com.
Hey Houston real estate agents, this is Alan Hernandez, broker at White Picket Realty. I want to let you know that when you're ready to stop working your real estate career and start building a real estate business, Team WPR is a place to be. Not only do we offer real results, real support, and real branding, but furthermore, 80 to 100% commissions of your hard-earned money going back to you. So make sure you reach out to us. Join at teamwpr.com. Again, that's join, Join, at teamwpr.com.
back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where if you catch us live during the show, we can answer your questions live on the air.
Did you just call it Realty Ruckus?
Yeah, because a few friends of mine said that sometimes my Hispanic comes out on the show, so I was just letting it out there.
Our Hispanic came out on that picture that we took yesterday and posted it with Danny Garcia.
It's like blood in, blood out
with those glasses on. Hey, speaking of, we were talking about how at the end yesterday at HAR Engage, you got a chance to get one last golden nugget from Brad Inman, and he talked all about...
So he's an incredible guy, and he's seen a lot of other industries that crunch down and they compress, and he talked about what was the one of travel agencies.
Yeah. How they've changed over the years.
They've changed, and what he was explaining is that some travel agencies, they've been acquired, or those people went to go work for Expedia, that there's still somebody booking the trips. You just don't realize it.
Right.
So he said that the idea that the realtor is going to disappear just doesn't make sense. But he said that no industry right now is actually... Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah. Leo Greer just called you Gabriel Iglesias.
I know, I saw that. He said that everyone right now is looking out in their self-interest when it comes to technology, that they're improving the customer experience a little bit, but that they're such tiny changes that it's not doing enough to actually revolutionize the industry. That nobody's tech, not Open Doors, not Compasses, nobody's tech is solving the one biggest problem. And he said that whoever solves this will be the person to transform the industry. And that's taking a transaction from 45 days down to 30 days, down to 21, down to 14, down to 10, down to 1 week. To where somebody can go look at an open house on a Sunday, and by the very next Sunday, they're moving in. You've done everything else that you have to in that 1 week. That there's absolutely no reason why a home purchase should take 45 days. There's no reason why it should take 30 days. You should be able to get in and out and be moved in and be done with your home purchase like that. And then when someone can do that, they're going to cause a wave to happen, because now more transactions can close. The more transactions it can close, more people are doing more transactions, more people are making money, and more people making money means that more people are buying property. So he said that's the problem to solve, and no one is actually tackling that.
The minute that somebody solves that, that's who's going to revolutionize the industry. There you go. Well,
I love it.
Now we have two things to take on: revolutionize the industry and create Megadar.
Yeah, we have two projects. Man, they just keep adding up. Hey, speaking of things to do, what do we have in terms of events coming up?
There's a lot to do, and especially tonight. It's Quest IRA's Fright Night, which if you guys haven't heard of Quest IRA, they
maybe my friends were right.
So Quest IRA is a company that allows you to set up self-directed IRAs, which a lot of real estate investors use to invest in their real estate. And they're actually hosting a big party tonight from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Duquesa with open bar, appetizers, a costume contest, and as always, the battle of the scary investment stories. Are you getting up there to
No, not telling a scary story this time. I tell a lot of scary stories on this show already, but I am going to go up there and just say hi.
And I'll say one thing. For anybody who's out there and says, I can't find out how to get private money, I can't find investors to fund my deals. Last year alone, I raised over $1 million on Fright Night that I've actually used. It's not just somebody said, I have $1 million. No, I've actually utilized those funds. So if you need money, go out there and network and meet people. That's where these high net worth individuals are that are looking to lend their money. But you got to get out there and meet them. They're not going to come out and meet you.
All in one room. I mean, how much easier can it get? You're literally shooting fish in a barrel. You just got to actually go out there and talk to
These
somebody.
are people that have money in their self-directed IRA and are looking for a place to invest it in. And more than likely, it's going to be in real estate. So if you're an investor, if you ever thought about buying a house and flipping one or whatever, keeping some of them, there's plenty of money there. They have over, last time I heard, $1 billion sitting in their accounts waiting to be invested.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So on top of that, if you are looking to be the type of person that can confidently go up to speak to private money lenders or other real estate professionals in the industry, then what you really need to do is attend Toastmasters. And I'm going to be hosting this club meeting on October 29th. That's Monday. It's going to be at 6 p.m. Doors open at 6 p.m. It'll go from 6:30 to 7:30 at our central office, which is at 1820 Main Street. Now, what Toastmasters is, it's a organization with over 400,000 clubs internationally, and all these clubs are focused on helping you.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a huge, huge organization. And these clubs are designed to help you better your communication skills and public speaking. And as real estate professionals, we all need that. So there's no reason not to come out. It's free for guests to come check it out. Just stop by, sit in on the meeting, see what it's like, and if it's something that you believe can help you improve your communication skills, then ask me how to sign up, and I'd be more than happy to have you. Again, that's next Monday at 6 p.m. at the White Picket Realty Central Office. Now, on top of that, I know Dia de los Muertos is coming up, and our friends over in NAREP, West Katy, they're hosting a big event, Viva Dia de los Muertos. That's going to be Thursday, November 1st, from 6 to 9 p.m. at Agave Rio. Someone made me feel guilty. Alma made me feel guilty about never going to a Katy event for NAREP. So
no, we're going to this one. I'm gonna tell you why. They're gonna have tequila shots, and they're gonna have mariachi.
I'm there.
They had me at those two things, and on top of that, they'll have all sorts of other really cool stuff. But when they sent me the invite, they said those two things, and I was like, Realty Ruckus is coming. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us today. Don't forget that we're on every Tuesday and Thursday from 1:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Keep up your ruckus, and we'll see you next time.
This has been the Realty Ruckus. Make sure and join us every Tuesday and Friday for new episodes. Find us on YouTube and Facebook for replays of previous episodes. And as always, keep elevating yourself and keep up your ruckus. Thanks for listening. Realty Ruckus has been brought to you by Smart Pig Media Productions.